Hi, my name is Megan Bazzi, and I did my field experience for the Athletic Media Relations Department. This agency was not who I was supposed to originally do it with. I was supposed to do it with the marketing department. However, the person that I originally set it up to do it with ended up leaving Coastal, so I had to quickly scramble to find somewhere. However, I ended up loving the place that I do it, and everyone that worked there. It was just a great place to do your field experience. This agency is in charge of all media communication. Their goal is to promote Coastal in the very best light possible. They do stats and they make sure the record books are up to date, and they do rosters and promotions, and they run the social medias, and they communicate with the outside medias and get the information out to them. And really, anything having to do with CCU athletics and the media is just what they have to do with. During my time in this experience, I had many different roles and responsibilities. A good portion of my time was spent at the actual games. At football games, I was in charge of working the press conferences, and I had to make sure that everyone down on the field had been COVID checked, which means they had a yellow wristband, been temperature checked, and that was a really big, important part of my job because of the COVID regulations and everything. We had to make sure that all the players in the field stayed healthy. But I also did stats while at the game, and just like I said, the setting up for the press conference and like making sure that ran smoothly and that all the outside media had what they needed, whether it be food and drink, a place to put their stuff. We made sure that that whole room was set up for them. When at the women's soccer and volleyball games, I ran their Instagrams, which was honestly my favorite part of my experience because I got to just really be creative and do what I wanted to do. Which included like taking videos and making captions and GIFs and pictures and just really making it my own, which was a lot of fun. I also worked at the men's soccer game, one of them, and I ran the scoreboard, which is just another thing that I learned how to do. And then I was also in the office for a good portion of my hours where I did more behind the scenes and like tedious things such as like labeling pictures and updating roster pictures and updating the rosters online and like the website. I went through the record books and made sure that everything was up to date and spelled correctly and things like that. All very little things, but very important in the end. This is just what I did for my primary agency assignment. I felt like I wanted to include it because I just thought it was super interesting. I did a whole analysis of the Sunbelt football's Instagram. And so I based Coastals and then the top other five in the Sunbelt with the most followers so that I could compare it and we could learn from them and what they do or what they do that's not good. So I went through and I looked at all their pictures and I counted how many posts they had this semester and saw what got the most views and what got the most likes and just used that information to help Coastal gain a better in social media page because they're getting as they're winning, more and more people are tuning in, so we want them to have a very strong following, and social media is a great way to interact with fans. And my department was really happy with what I did with this one. They gave them a lot of insight and things that they can use. During my time there, I learned a whole bunch of different things. I got to learn all the behind the scenes of what goes into it. Being an athlete here on the lacrosse team at Coastal, I've always just seen the final product. I've seen the final graphics or like the live tweets after the game, but I never saw how much went into it and what went behind it. So it was really cool to learn about all of that and just like see how everything's ran was just very interesting and like just taught me a lot. I honestly think that a big thing that I learned was confidence. Not that I lack confidence, but when running the Instagrams and everything, I felt a little bit nervous because I didn't. Obviously, I have my own Instagram and like know how what I would post on there, but I wanted it to be a little bit more professional, but still relate and relevant and be content that people wanted to see. So I had to find that happy medium, but I ended up learning how to do that, and so I have so much more confidence in myself and what I'm able to do. And so this all pertains to what I want to do in the future, which is social media marketing. I found that super interesting, and I just had a lot of fun being in that role when I was able to, such as running the stories or even during the analysis. I learned quite a bit. I just think that it was a lot of fun, and my experience allowed me to see a lot of different avenues of things that I might want to do, such as reporting in the press conferences or being one of the video people, or being in the facilities. Like I got to see a lot of different roles that or opportunities and career paths that I could go down. And so this one, social media marketing side of it was just one that stuck out and is definitely something that I want to pursue. And the last thing is I these are just two little things that were kind of funny. Being in the office all the time, Alex Sousa got to know me, and so he came up and asked me if I would do the voiceover for the Coastal Volleyball hype video. So if you ever hear the hype video, yes, that is my voice. I'm so inspirational. That was like really took me out of my comfort zone, but overall it was a cool experience. And then this is was just really funny because I was at the volleyball game running their Instagram, and this clip ended up making the top 10 plays on ESPN because obviously the volleyball girl did really well. But I'll show it to you because it's just kind of funny. So this, right, this is her, and right here I think is where it happens. This is me over here. She runs. I had to dive out of the way, dive for my life. But I just thought that was really funny, and just I just wanted to add that in there as a tidbit. But overall, I really enjoyed my experience. I learned so much, and will definitely even be helping out the people in my department next semester when I can, because I'm going to be in season, so obviously not as much time. But I made such great relationships and honestly a lot of contacts. So it was just a really great experience.